second the motion.
Fair play, Jack. Whew. Right, I'm going to bring it down a tone here. Because I'm not even going to try and follow that, Jack. Colleagues, Sheila Nunan, INTO. Colleagues, 2 years ago when we were in Belfast, the Irish economy was still in the A&E department of the bailout, and the following December it was transferred to critical and now deemed stable, even if our stability is not guaranteed. But we're still here, as Jack said, and a significant challenge faces us in ensuring that fairness lies in the heart of the policy debate in the post-bailout Ireland and beyond. And it is a significant opportunity, both for Ireland and for the trade union movement, to take that road less travelled in ensuring that the policy drivers of equality are agreed and implemented and must involve fair and proper balance of income, taxation and public services. And with very good reason. The evidence proves that equal societies do better on all measures and that equal societies produce stronger and more sustainable economies. And surprisingly, as Tom has alluded to, the team in the red who give out about the scourge of inequality have been joined by some very unusual advocates. It's now official that the theory of comforting the already well comforted and afflicting the already severely afflicted is a drag on economic growth, and that the historic mantra that policy, that taxing high-worth individuals and supporting those in poverty was a recipe for stifling economic growth has been now roundly contested. There is no trade-off between equity and inefficiency. And it must be true, colleagues, because the OECD, the World Bank, the IMF and other international research all agree on the need to reduce economic equality to safeguard economic prosperity. Now, we're not that foolish to know that they have a vested interest in ensuring that the money that they have lent out will have to be paid back to them, so they do need to protect their loans. But our responsibility is to ensure that we do take that road less travelled in our campaign to ensure decent work and decent public services. And success is important for us, and we must give great credit to unions like John's, our president, this morning, for pushing the decent work agenda. He was right about the public response out there. It does speak to the decency of ordinary Irish people, but it will not be sustained, and we must work very hard to make sure that that campaign is kept to the forefront of the policy debate. The indignity of no work is only marginally diminished by precarious work, and the legacy of low hours and 0 hours and shabby treatment of workers will take huge efforts to eradicate. Everybody needs a pay rise, and the vehicle of the Low Pay Commission can uplift 250,000 workers on low pay towards a living wage. But decent work must be underpinned by decent workers' rights, and each and every one of us must maintain the push that the emerging structures will be a success, and organising, as Jack says, must be central. And we must commend the Cork project that is doing some innovative work in bringing trade unions together in that area to work together collectively in both organising and campaigning. It's a model I think we can all look at. On the decent public services front that Tom Healy so well spoke about, I do think we have referred already to a survey in the Irish Times this morning about precarious work. There's also a survey in the Irish Times, for those of you who read it last week, about Irish attitude to sex. I think we need to ask the Irish Times to do a survey about attitude to tax, the social wage. Taxes are the price we pay for a civilised society. The collective Irish shoulders are sloped with the burden of socialised bank debt. Those of us working in the education sector are horrified that the annual payment of interest on our loans is the equivalent of the entire education budget for all of the people involved in education. That is a scandal. We cannot have a social wage, improve our childcare, improve our education, improve our healthcare, while the invisible weaponry of EU socialising debt is working against our interests. We can do better when we are more equal. But it has to be more than polemic, and it has to be more than policy. And we have to address internally our organising and our campaigning structures. We have our firepower from NERI. We will get our education from the Workers' College. We're working on our media strategy, and we have to organise. Let us renew our efforts and make sure that we can fulfil the legacy of this great movement. Thank you, colleagues.
Thank you.